I am so happy that Eminence in the Shadow is back. Bro, I'm so happy that this show is back. Just look at Sid here, just sitting on his throne, man. This season is gonna be so much fun. I swear. So if you do so for to give you kind of context, I immediately started reading the manga once season 2 ended, and I got to like chapter 84 or 88, something like that. And that is and I don't think there were any more chapters that came out like soon enough for me to like continue like reading it. So for context, I've already like seen pretty much what this arc is gonna entail because I'm pretty sure because if this season is like only covering the this Blood Moon arc, then yeah, I pretty much know everything that's gonna happen. But this is still such a good such a great first episode. Not even good. This is a great first episode. So we start off here with Sid meeting and like he's I'm assuming this is this is the chocolate place that Gamma owns, right? And they're basically just having they're all just having like a meeting in this place and talking about like previous events and stuff. And the fact of the Lawless City gets mentioned. You know, Beta starts talking about how like there's a lot of like basically corrupt people in Lawless City, but it's also like where like all the I guess like a lot of like the power is. So if something like goes bad there, then it could have like a negative effect on like the rest of the world or like kingdom pretty much. So Sid basically says, you know, he'll deal with it because like he was told by his sister that they were going. But this is still this is like so then we have here the introduction of the red moon. If there's Can I find a good shot? Huh. No, I guess it's just this just this kind of like window shot here. The moon is just like the moon is finally turning red, and everyone else over here is talking about how like this is like in a legend pretty much. But then you just know like just from if you just watch, if you've already seen and like know Sid, you already know that he has no idea like what they're talking about. He's just saying like whatever. Like he literally just said like the moon is red, and then all of these guys were just like, or these girls were just like, oh, he definitely knows like everything that's like going on and all that. And I've heard people like compare this series to Overlord, and it is like in that way, but in a lot of ways they're also different, but they are similar in the same way that, you know, both main characters just do stuff and everyone else just thinks it's like this amazing thing, but most of the time they're not even doing it on purpose, or like they don't do or say anything on purpose, or like they don't even know like what they're saying even like means half the time. So, anyways, we move past here, so that meeting, and then we have these two from the Bushin Festival. Um, I don't really care, if I'm being honest, I don't really care enough to, like, remember their names, to be honest, but we got the gold dude here, and then we got the brute who, like, beat up Sid before the festival started, the Bushin Festival. So they come here to this, so they're in the Lawless City, and it's basically this place where, like, a bunch of, like, apparently like ghouls just roam around the city like all the time. Like seeing a ghoul is just like normal in this city because there's vampires here apparently, because like this is the spot they're at the vampire like tower here. But then we got this dude right here. This dude, he's kind of creepy and kind of funny. He's good. I hope they keep they're definitely gonna animate that soon. Like next episode there's gonna be like a funny scene with him, so just forewarning, or like just, you know, be hopefully you get excited off of like knowing that there's like a funny scene that happens with this guy. But this guy is like the I think his name is the White Knight. But if you're wondering like why there's no subtitles, it's because like I watched it dub. I know, you know, hate me in the comments all you want for me watching dubbed and whatnot. I like to know what my characters are saying. If the dub is out, I'm watching the dub. If the dub is not out, I'm watching the subbed. Okay, I still watch subbed stuff. Like I said, if the dub, if a show is already like finished and the dub is like out and everything, I'm watching the dub. All right, but if a show is like just airing and just coming out and there's obviously like no dub for it, then I'm fine watching the subbed all the way through. That's how I am. So hate me in the comments all you want, I guess, but please like the video or dislike it because both of them helps. Anyways, moving on. So this guy is the White Knight, I believe his name is, and he tried to like clear this tower before, but as you can see here, he got his like arm cut off, and then he's in like in chains. So basically, he's now kind of just like the watchdog of the tower, and keeping weak people like these two away from it. So this is a pretty like cool scene. I thought this was about to be a funny moment though, because like his feet are like chained, but then he like just jumps off the balcony like towards them, and I thought it was gonna be like the chains wouldn't reach far enough, and he was about to like fall to the ground. I thought that was gonna be a funny moment, but I guess not. So yeah, that's a pretty cool scene right there. Some blood splatter. And then we get this scene right here where Claire is basically just dragging Sid all the way through the city, and like he's like admiring it, but she's like, no, this city is like creepy and like dangerous, so don't stare. Pretty much like New York City. If you live in the U.S., do not stare at people in New York, bro. Do not. No, I say that, but I've never even been to New York myself. It's just what I've been told. Either way, moving on. So Sid basically gives us like a recap here of all of season 1. If you watched it, yada yada. That's what happened. And like I said earlier, Claire actually ended up winning the Bushin Festival. So So because like that whole fight with like the red, I'm sorry, the princess, the red hair, and then like the strong elf, that since they were fighting, I guess they got like disqualified or something. Well, no, because the princess, she lost to Sid actually first. That's right, she lost to Sid, and then Sid, I guess, like, he had to turn in the shadow to save Rose. Yeah, he turned in the shadow to save Rose, so he kind of just like quit the tournament at that point. And so then, no one was left to like fight Claire, well, except for this dude, so she just won. But basically, she then got invited to like become part of this like group. I think that's more accurate, a night group, and they're basically here to I guess like fight like the vampires and like the ghouls and stuff, something like that. They're here to do something like that. And so basically Claire, like I said, just dragging Sid along, and she's all like, don't stay next to me because he'll get lost and whatnot. And this is actually kind of like, because like I said earlier, I read the manga, and this is kind of like changed from the manga because Claire's not really like dragging Sid in the manga like this, but it's still like pretty funny nonetheless. And basically they kind of, let me not forget, Claire basically is also bringing him here because she wants to secure a future for him. So like if he does well with like this assignment that her and this like night group are being given, then that'll help him like get a better job in the future. And Sid obviously is not thinking about his future after school at all, but Claire is over here like getting everything prepared for him, and like she thinks it's important. So anyways, moving on, like this merchant basically tries to sell the dudes from earlier they lost the White Knight. So that's not really all that important. But then this man Sid actually ends up getting lost, just like Claire said, which is, classic Sid. And then I find it interesting, look, we have Rose here still with the wanted poster, and then you just have these hooded guys with like who are all like also wanted. That's it's kind of funny. Well, a nice little attention to detail. This but then see, look, then we have like a hood guy like bump into Sid here, right here, and take his wallet. So it's literally like the poster also. And then this other guy does it, and Sid does the same thing to him, and he just keeps doing it the entire day. And I believe like this was also, and this was also kind of changed. Like they made like a bunch of like sort of like certain changes to this to where they made it a little like less funny in my opinion. Like yeah, there are just certain scenes that are like they're still here, but they're like altered to like be more serious. That's kind of like what I really wanted to like hammer home for this video, is like they kind of made this, it seems like they're trying to make this arc more serious than it was, at least in the manga. But then again, I think this series is actually based off the light novel, to be honest. So I don't know, this could just be me not knowing the knowledge of the light novel readers. Anyways, y'all light novel readers, feel free to tell me whatever y'all want inside the comments, but don't spoil anything, hopefully, for like people who are like watching it. So anyways, like I said earlier, their ghouls are kind of just roaming around the city, and then these three guys are like beating it up. But then as they're doing it, the moon, ooh, this is a good shot. Like it basically just becomes red right here. This is a pretty cool shot right here. I might make this shot the thumbnail, to be honest. The moon is like completely red, and that's when basically the ghouls just start going like crazy. So they get stronger, and now they're just like zombies. Like, you know, you bite, if you get bitten, you also turn into a ghoul. I don't really know. I honestly don't really even know what the difference between a ghoul and a zombie is. Someone tell me what the difference between a ghoul and a zombie is in the comments, because I don't really understand like what the difference is between them. But anyways, we have this character here who's pretty cool, you know. We have Mary, and she is a vampire hunter. An ancient vampire hunter. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You know, so she's basically a cool character. So she comes here and she sees Sid just smiling here as a ghoul is attacking him, and then she just steps in and like cuts these guys up, bro. That's pretty cool. But then basically, oh wait, hold on. Let me actually, can I? I'm gonna try to see if I can play this.
Run if you value your life.
If you value your life, then run.
The frenzy has begun.
The frenzy has begun.
The moon is red. We are out of time.
We're out of time.
So basically, Mary says these like cool lines to Sid, and basically. And obviously, first time watching this, I was like confused. Like, why is he just like repeating what she says? What is that for? But hold on, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. So Claire notices he's gone, and then this guy runs out. Claire has to kill the zombie. Also, blood in this anime is kind of weird in my opinion. Am I the only one who thinks like the blood sort of like animation's a little weird? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, moving on. So these two idiots are here, and they eventually get attacked by ghouls, and basically the entire city is just turning into ghouls pretty much, because like that one guy got bit, and now just everyone's a freaking zombie. But then this girl's about to get attacked, and Sid just busts right through this window and just slices it. And this is what I was trying to say, is he says the same things that Mary just said to him. He says like, we're out of time. The moon is red, or like, run if you value your life. He basically just repeats it, and he not only repeats it once in this scene. This man repeats the same thing twice for this girl in this one scene. like, please go watch this scene, because that is just another hilarious like thing that happens. And then this girl is like, this girl like tells this other girl who just like ran in, it just like Shadow came and saved me, and then she just casually like gets up and like says that she's leaving with all of her money. That was a little weird, because you just got attacked by a ghoul, and then this random guy saved you. But whatever, that's just the show, pretty much. So then we get to see a glimpse of this character, who I am actually hyped. I think a lot of us who know this arc are hyped to see more of. But whatever. Well, no, not whatever, but we will see more of her later. So Claire is here in the alley thinking that Sid is like already dead, but then Mary shows up here and like mentions how she saw Sid, and like this. So Claire's basically just she's hugging a random guy's head here, guys. This is a random person, and then once she hears that Sid might be alive, she just throws his head to the ground. Claire is just ruthless. So, long story short, these two end up, like, teaming up with each other to go to the vampire tower, and so one has to save Sid, and then Mary has, like, her own goal to, like, stop the vampires, I guess, also. So, these guys keep running, and then we get introduced to the second, or another major character, this dude, Juggernaut. And this guy is actually cool. Like, he actually looks cooler here than in the manga. So that is cool. So this guy, Juggernaut, is like the ruler of the Black Tower, and the Fox girl from earlier is the ruler of the White Tower. So they're both like the leaders. And so he's excited about all this. And then we have, I think this is like the night group. Yeah, this is the night group I was talking about earlier. They're getting attacked in their place, and then some of them like run away, and then we have Shadow here coming in to save them again. And see how it's like the same shot? He looks behind him the same way so many times, and that is just again the humor of Eminence and the Shadow that is just like so good. So he comes and saves these guys. And then we have basically the leader of the vampires kind of here, because they're trying to resurrect the Blood Queen. This is something I mentioned in like the trailer, I think, for season 2. The Blood Queen is like the big bad, and like basically this guy and his goons are trying to revive him. And so then we got the Fox girl here and Juggernaut basically killing the ghouls in the city, and like, really they want to fight each other, but they're also like killing ghouls to like stay out the way. And then we have Shadow up here all menacingly in front of the moon. This dude just like jumps down right in front of them and just introduces himself in the shadowy way he does, as our boy does. And that's pretty much the episode. Because then we got, like, I'm assuming this is the intro here. This is also a good intro, because, the intro is also basically another recap of stuff that, like, happened in the first season, pretty much. Like, we have characters here that I mentioned earlier, and we got some new places, and, we have Sid also getting hit by the truck, truck versus human. That's like at least in the isekai world, that's the battle of all time, like a battle that's been going on for years at this point. So yeah, again, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.